This is Alex Ritson with the newsroom. The US and Israel have launched what Donald Trump calls major combat operations against Iran, bombing Tehran and, Iran says, 5 other cities.
We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally obliterated. We're going to annihilate their navy. We're going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world.
The president urged Iranians to use the moment to overthrow the Ayatollah and his regime.
When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations.
The Israeli military says Iran is trying to retaliate. We'll bring you events as they happen, international reaction to the strikes, plus reporting from our correspondents in the region and analysis from our team. First, the news.
BBC News with Govinda Gill. The US and Israel have launched attacks on Iran. President Trump has described it as major combat operations in Iran. He urged Iranians, when we are finished, take over your government. Mr. Trump said Iran's missile industry will be obliterated. David Willis is in Washington.
It is a political gamble for Donald Trump, but he has clearly been losing patience with the Iranians in recent weeks and months as these negotiations have failed to reach agreement. But as recently as last night, Donald Trump told reporters that he had, as he put it, an important decision to make, whether to go along with diplomatic attempts to resolve the situation in Iran or to do what he has done overnight. It's interesting, though, because there were suggestions that those talks were pretty close. But now, of course, events have turned in a different direction.
Iranian media has reported explosions in cities across the country, including Isfahan, the port city of Bushehr, and the capital Tehran. The country's health ministry said hospitals were on alert, but the number of casualties is not yet clear. Nefise Konavad is from BBC Persian.
Very powerful footage of explosions showing that also there are casualties, and people are shocked, those that have filmed these videos that we also verified. It seems that they didn't expect that the attack will happen in this hour of the day, because usually, because of the 12-day war that they experienced last summer, the attack started overnight.
The Israeli military says it's identified missiles launched from Iran that it's working to intercept. Iran's also launched retaliatory strikes targeting US military bases in the wider region. Bahrain's state news agency said a US Navy facility there had been subjected to a missile attack. There were also reports of Iranian missiles targeting US facilities in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates and Qatar. Here's Lise Doucet.
This is a confrontation which is very different from what happened last year, where, at least when it came to the region, Iran carefully telegraphed its attacks, took care to minimize the risk of causing American casualties. The reports are coming in. There are explosions being heard in Kuwait, also in the United Arab Emirates, Qatar. Iran had warned that this time it would not hold back and that all of U.S. military bases across the region, including U.S. military personnel, there's more than 40,000 across the region, would be at risk.
European Union officials have described the latest developments across the Middle East as deeply concerning. The president of the European Commission urged all parties to exercise maximum restraint to protect civilians. World News from the BBC.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Brian Clark. A joint military operation is underway against Iran, with the U.S. and Israel launching strikes that President Trump says are intended to bring about regime change.
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people.
A U.S. military official said the strikes involved a mix of aircraft and Tomahawk cruise missiles. The president had repeatedly said he preferred diplomacy to a military strike. So far, no word on casualties in Iran, but a state news agency says that Iranian missiles and drones have targeted the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet in Bahrain and bases in Qatar and the UAE. President Trump did not seek congressional approval for the strike. Congressional Democrats were seeking a war powers resolution vote intending to prevent a strike without congressional approval. This is ABC News.
CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Christopher Cruz in Washington. We begin tonight with breaking news. Iranian state TV, the mouthpiece of the Iranian regime, says Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is dead. CBS's Jennifer Kuiper says the 86-year-old Ayatollah had ruled Iran since 1989.
The Iranian revolution that overthrew the Shah brought the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei into the new government's inner circle. Khamenei was a protege of the Ayatollah Khomeini, which may be why he was asked to visit with the Americans being held hostage in 1980. Among them, John Limbert, who remembers Khamenei telling reporters,
he said, well, the hostages that I met are very happy with their condition. They're very comfortable. They even thanked the students for all of their kindness and hospitality. I mean, that's absolutely shameless.
Khamenei eventually became president, then supreme leader of Iran. He was a cleric with a single mission: to protect the Islamic Republic and maintain the status quo. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Who's in charge in Iran now? That's not clear. CBS's Haley Ott in London says it's also not clear what kind of a relationship, if any, Iran's new leaders will want to have with the U.S. and Israel.
The question of how safe Israel becomes with strikes like this or with a change in government in Iran is still very much an open one. Many experts have said that regime change in Iran could open the situation up for chaos.
Tonight, in a phone call with President Trump, CBS's Robert Costa asked him who he thinks is calling the shots now in Iran. The president replied, "I know exactly who, but I can't tell you." From Tel Aviv, CBS's Charlie D'Agata says Iran has been firing missiles at countries throughout the Middle East.
Iran's retaliation was swift and far-reaching, targeting U.S. bases and allies in more than half a dozen countries across the Middle East. Cell phone footage captured explosions near the headquarters of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet in Bahrain.
And at an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council today, U.S. Ambassador Mike Waltz denounced those Iranian attacks.
Indiscriminate and unprovoked attacks by the Iranian regime today against our regional partners, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Qatar, Jordan, and others, reinforce precisely why such actions are necessary.
In retaliation, Israel tonight said it has launched a new wave of attacks on Iranian missile and air defense sites. This is CBS News.